Signals intelligence operates in a domain that most people never see, the vast and restless landscape of electromagnetic waves, digital pulses, encoded messages, and data flows that travel across the world every second. It is a discipline built not on personal contact or direct observation but on the ability to listen to the invisible, to capture fragments of communication as they pass through cables, airwaves, satellites, and networks. In the early days it meant intercepting radio transmissions with bulky receivers. Today it spans the entire spectrum of global connectivity, from encrypted satellite links to fragmented packets drifting through internet infrastructure. The essence of SIGINT lies in transforming raw, chaotic streams of signals into coherent intelligence that explains movements, intentions, or emerging risks. Every operation begins with targeting, a complex process of identifying which channels carry valuable information. Modern communications are layered, encrypted, duplicated, and dispersed across multiple systems, so analysts must understand not only who might communicate but how they are likely to do it. This requires mapping entire communication networks, tracing pathways between devices, interpreting frequency use, and detecting anomalies in traffic volume or timing. A minor shift in transmission patterns can indicate a change in strategy or preparation for an action. Even the absence of communication can sometimes be more meaningful than the presence of it. Once the signals are captured, the real work unfolds in the transformation of unreadable noise into structured understanding. Encrypted messages must be decoded or analyzed through their metadata, unencrypted data must be filtered from background clutter, and ambiguous patterns must be cross-referenced with historical behavior. Machines perform the heaviest computational tasks, sifting through billions of data points, identifying patterns, clustering anomalies, and highlighting connections that would remain invisible to human observers. Yet the interpretation still requires human judgment, because meaning emerges not just from math but from context, geopolitical tensions, cultural norms, strategic tendencies, organizational habits, and historical behavior. SIGINT is not limited to reading messages, it also reveals location, movement, and timing. A mobile phone signal, even when encrypted, exposes its presence through its interaction with cell towers. A radio transmission identifies its operator by power, frequency drift, and modulation. An electronic device emits a recognizable signature shaped by the imperfections of its components. By analyzing these signatures, intelligence services can track units across borders, observe the buildup of activity in remote regions, verify the deployment of military assets, or detect preparations for operations long before they become visible through other means. In this way, SIGINT creates a panoramic view of human activity at scale. It shows how groups coordinate, how actors communicate, how information flows between nodes, and where there are fractures or emerging threats. It can reveal the early rise of a covert network, the sudden coordination of hostile actors, or the subtle preparations of an organization attempting to hide its intentions. Because it operates globally and continuously, it is often the first indicator of shifts in the strategic environment, but SIGINT has limits. Encrypted channels can become opaque, communications can vanish behind air-gapped systems, and adversaries can deliberately saturate the spectrum with noise to hide meaningful signals. Even when messages are captured, their content can remain inaccessible if cryptographic barriers are strong. In such cases, analysts rely on metadata, the who, when, where, and how of communication, to infer intention. A sudden burst of short transmissions may signal coordination, a shift to older communication methods may indicate preparation for clandestine action, an increase in silent channels can suggest operational discipline before an event. The power of SIGINT lies not in magic but in scale. No human being could read the volume of global communications, but machines can process them, categorize them, and highlight critical fragments. Analysts then connect these fragments to real-world events, cross-checking with open sources, human intelligence, and imagery to construct a coherent narrative. The combination transforms scattered data into actionable insight, allowing governments to monitor threats, anticipate crises, and verify diplomatic or military developments. In the modern world, where almost every action leaves a digital or electromagnetic trace, signals intelligence acts as both an early warning system and a continuous diagnostic tool. It uncovers hidden networks, disrupts planned attacks, tracks technological proliferation, and provides decision-makers with a near real-time understanding of evolving situations. And although the methods remain concealed, buried inside classified systems and secure facilities, their influence is felt whenever a government seems to know something it should not yet know. Behind those moments lies the quiet, relentless machinery of SIGINT, listening to the world as it speaks in signals, fragments, and patterns drifting through the electromagnetic fields that surround us all.